Hello everyone, you're now with me, Ruben Gomez for TVS Nightline. Now, let's begin. Fully vaccinated Sarawakians who wish to enter Sarawak no longer need to apply via ENTERSARAWAK to travel the state effective October 18.
Sarawak Disaster Management Committee SDMC in a statement said individuals wanting to enter Sarawak only need to fill in the e-health declaration form, are not required to undergo COVID-19 screening, must show proof of being fully vaccinated, and must have low risk or no symptoms casual contact status only in the MySejahtera application. Meanwhile, for individuals who are not fully vaccinated and wish to enter Sarawak, they must apply through ENTERSARAWAK and undergo the RT-PCR or RTK antigen screening test 3 days before leaving for Sarawak. In addition, it is necessary to be quarantined at home or in a quarantine station for 10 days, while children aged below 12 must undergo COVID-19 screening if they are entering Sarawak with parents or guardians who have not been fully vaccinated. Meanwhile, travelers from abroad are required to apply through ENTERSARAWAK, fill in the EHDF, do the RT-PCR screening test 3 days before entering Malaysia. Additionally, fully vaccinated travelers from abroad are allowed to transit to Sarawak within 24 hours. The quarantine period is 7 days from the date of entry into Malaysia for travelers who are fully vaccinated and 10 days for those who have not been fully vaccinated.
Travelers who are not Sarawak-born, including Malaysian citizens, are still required to apply through ENTERSARAWAK to enter the state. However, exemption is given to federal civil servants serving in Sarawak.
According to SDMC, they only need to show a verification letter from their respective department head and a valid work permit, if applicable, to be allowed to board a plane, boat, or go through the Immigration, Customs, Quarantine and Security Complex ICQS. Additionally, private sector employees are also given the exemption, and they are also required to show the verification letter from the employer and valid work permit before they can be allowed to board a plane, boat, or go through the ICQS. Meanwhile, non-Sarawakians who are married to a Sarawakian also do not need to apply for ENTERSARAWAK, but they are required to produce their marriage certificate to board the plane, boat, or go through the ICQS. For children of Sarawakian parents who were born outside Sarawak are required to show their birth certificate to board the plane, boat, or go through the ICQS. SDMC said the exemption is also given to Sarawak Malaysia My Second Home visa holders, whereby they need to show their visa pass documents to board the plane, boats, or go through the ICQS. Apart from that, they are required to fill the e-health declaration form and produce proof they have completed the COVID-19 vaccination.
The relaxations on standard operating procedures (SOPs), quarantine measures and interstate as well as overseas travel effective October 18th is set to kickstart the revival of the country's tourism sector.
Malaysian Association of Travel Agencies MATA President Datuk Muhammad Khalid Harun said the move would benefit several parties, especially the tourism sector, as well as facilitate tourist travel. He added, with the ease in restrictions, it means that the public is prepared to adhere to the SOPs. Additionally, this relaxation is important in the efforts to revitalize the tourism sector because the move will bring positive economic outcomes. Elaborating, he said the recovery of the tourism industry would benefit various other sectors such as aviation, small businesses, services, and the local economy, which had been affected by the extended period of lockdowns due to COVID-19.
Datuk Sri Abdul Karim Rahman Hamzah welcomes the latest decision by the SDMC to give exemption to the entry into the state for fully vaccinated Sarawakians. He said even though the entry relaxation is allowed, Sarawakians who need to travel must not rush their itinerary.
Walaupun kemasukan tu ataupun kelonggaran itu diberi kepada rakyat Sarawak dahulu. Tapi bagi saya itu memadai untuk sekian waktu kerana kita difahamkan daripada maklum balas daripada mereka yang telah menghubungi kita, terlalu ramai rakyat Sarawak dari sana yang mau balik dan dari sini yang mahu pergi ke sana berjumpa dengan keluarga.
The State Minister of Tourism, Arts and Culture said the latest decision by SDMC showed that they are slowly opening the state border. He hoped that by the end of this year or early next year, the community can return to pre-pandemic era. Karim believes that the relaxation on entry into the state will be extended to all Malaysians in a month or two as the COVID-19 pandemic situation further improves. Meanwhile, Tupong Assemblyman Fazruddin Abdul Rahman agreed with the decision by SDMC to allow fully vaccinated Sarawakians to enter Sarawak without the need to apply through ENTERSARAWAK. He is confident that the decision taken has been scrutinized accordingly and is also based on the views of the state public health experts. Fazruddin asserted that the role played by SDMC is crucial to ensure the safety and well-being of the people after battling with the COVID-19 pandemic for more than a year.
A vehicle with a family of 4 crashed into an elephant at Kluang, causing the death of the 37-year-old driver. The 3 passengers, including a 5-year-old boy, survived with injuries after the incident.
The incident occurred at KM 70 Jalan Kota Tinggi to Kluang on Saturday. A team of 8 firemen from Renggam Fire and Rescue Station rushed to the scene after receiving a distress call at 9:59 p.m. Senior Fire Officer Abdul Rahim Razali said they managed to remove the car driver, identified as Ismail Daud, 37. Meanwhile, Kluang District Deputy Police Chief DSP Abdul Raza Abdullah Sani said the family was heading towards Kluang from Felda Bukit when it crashed into the elephant that was crossing the road. The impact caused the elephant to fall on the car and the driver was pinned in his seat in the crushed vehicle. He suffered injuries to his head and neck and was pronounced dead at the scene. The case was classified under Section 4 in Bracket 1 of the Road Transport Act 1987.
A second-hand goods trader was poorer by 15,000 ringgit after being cheated by 4 individuals disguised as representatives of Nur Kasih PDRM or Perkasih, a welfare body for the Malaysian Royal Police Force. The quartet promised the victim they would help him acquire his business license but was conned instead from the number of donations the victim he has made.
Kuala Lumpur Commercial Crime Investigation Department Chief Assistant Commissioner Muhammad Mahidi Sham Ishaq said the victim lodged a police report after realizing he was conned for the last 6 months. From April until September, the victim made 3 transactions totaling 15,000 ringgit to the supposed Perkasih representatives. The victim only realized he was cheated when he did not receive the license as promised up until now. The case is currently being investigated under Section 420 of the Penal Code for cheating. Mahidi Sham reminded the public to be cautious when any individual comes forward with claims of them being appointed by PDRM in dealing licenses related to second-hand goods business. Application for the licenses should only be done through approved channels. Should there be any of such case, members of the public are urged to immediately report the incident to the police.
Kerajaan Negeri Sarawak di bawah kepimpinan Yang Amat Berhormat Datuk Patinggi Abang Zohari Tun Openg sentiasa komited dalam memastikan setiap penduduk mempunyai bekalan air bersih 24 jam menjelang 2025. Peruntukan sebanyak 107 juta ringgit telah disalurkan bagi melaksanakan projek bekalan air daerah Kabong Pakej 1. Pelaksanaan projek ini mampu menaik taraf sistem bekalan air sedia ada untuk 5,713 isi rumah. Ia dibiayai sepenuhnya oleh kerajaan negeri melalui Kementerian Utiliti Sarawak dan Jabatan Bekalan Air Luar Bandar Sarawak sebagai agensi pelaksana. Dengan sistem yang dinaik taraf ini, penduduk setempat dapat menjalankan kegiatan harian yang memerlukan kemudahan bekalan air 24 jam.
Selama 58 tahun Sarawak Merdeka, kerajaan negeri telah berusaha membangunkan negeri dan mengutamakan keselesaan rakyat. Sarawak telah mencapai kemajuan pesat dalam segala aspek pembangunan dari segi fizikal, ekonomi dan sosial. Bagi mengikuti semua kemajuan yang telah dan bakal dilaksanakan, saksikan Randau Jalai Pemansang program temu bual berbahasa Iban bermula 17 Oktober ini setiap Ahad jam 9 malam hanya di TVS saluran 122 Astro dan MyTV.
Welcome back. A total of 91.5% or 21,430,294 of the adult population in Malaysia has completed their COVID-19 vaccination as of yesterday, October 16.
Based on the Health Ministry's data on the COVID Now portal, 95.1% of the adult population, or 22,265,430 individuals, have received at least one dose of the vaccine. On Saturday, a total of 128,347 doses of the vaccine were dispensed, involving both the adult and the adolescent populations. This brings the total number of doses administered under the National COVID-19 Immunization Program PICK since February 24th to 46,761,751. As for teenagers aged 12 to 17 years, a total of 716,332 individuals, or 22.8% of them, have completed the vaccination, while 77.9%, or 2,450,352 others, have received at least the first dose of the vaccine since the PICK program for the group was launched on September 8. On the administration of booster doses to the target group, a total of 3,181 received theirs yesterday, bringing the total number of booster doses given to 18,766.
Teachers who have yet to receive or administer themselves with the COVID-19 vaccine are urged to do so immediately. This is to protect not only themselves but their students as well. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Ismail Sabri Yaakob said such actions are in line with the principles of Islamic teachings, which the government have been advocating to protect the public interest.
Itulah kita menekankan supaya warga pendidik perlu mendapat vaksin kerana mereka akan bersemuka dengan pelajar-pelajar di sekolah. Mereka akan memberikan kesan, boleh memberikan kesan buruk bukan saja kepada pelajar-pelajar yang belum dapat vaksin kalau kurang daripada umur 18 tahun. Kalau pelajar sekolah rendah, mereka belum dapat vaksin. Kalau guru sekolah rendah tersebut tidak mendapat vaksin, ianya akan membahayakan pelajar-pelajar sekolah rendah tersebut. Dan juga membahayakan kepada rakan-rakan guru yang lain. Sebab itulah Kementerian Pendidikan tegas dari segi bukan memaksa, bukan mewajibkan. Saya tak tahu sama ada wajib atau tidak. Belum lagi. Tetapi mengarahkan.
As more and more physical classes are activated, teachers will interact physically with colleagues and students. To this, Ismail Sabri calls upon unvaccinated teachers to immediately register for the vaccine for the greater good. Although vaccination is not compulsory, those who have been vaccinated get to enjoy more privileges. This measure is not only practiced in Malaysia, but also in Saudi Arabia, where pilgrims and Umrah are obligated to complete 2 doses of the vaccine before they are allowed entry.
Frontliners and the Ministry of Health officers in the Sarikei division are set to receive the booster shot starting this week. The booster dose is voluntary but highly encouraged with the aim of ensuring optimum protection for those who have already received the COVID-19 vaccine.
Sarikei Division Health Officer Dr. Emmanuel Joseph Fong said currently the Pfizer vaccine is given as the booster dose at the main vaccine centres in each district.
Petugas-petugas barisan hadapan kita yang telah menerima dos penggalak hampir 180 orang lah. dan dijangkakan pada hujung minggu ini lebih ramai lagi lah, mungkin sampai 1,000 akan diberi dos-dos penggalak masing-masing. Ini termasuk petugas-petugas kesihatan kita di hospital dan di klinik-klinik kita.
Booster dose is given to individuals who have already received adequate protection from their initial vaccination, and the process will also be implemented through the MySejahtera application.
Tetapi pemberian dos penggalak hanya akan diberi kepada mereka yang telah 6 bulan selepas diberi dos yang kedua mereka. Jadi dijangkakan di Sarike ini sebab penduduk kita baru mula menerima dos kedua mereka pada bulan April. Pemberian dos penggalak ini akan bergantung kepada situasi semasa lah. Sebab masa ini kita akan memberikan dia di pusat-pusat pemberian vaksin utama di setiap daerah. Namun sekiranya terdapat sebarang perubahan, kita akan maklumkan kepada klien-klien kita di manakah tempat mereka menerima vaksin tersebut. Dan sekiranya ada pengamal swasta atau GP friends yang ingin memasuki program ini untuk memberi dos penggalak, mereka juga digalakkan.
At the same time, despite the booster dose, Dr. Emmanuel reminds everyone to continue to follow the standard operating procedures that have been established to protect themselves and their family members.
The Ministry of Science, Technology and Innovation, MOSTI, is optimistic in implementing and succeeding in the policies and initiatives outlined to position Malaysia as a high-tech country by 2030. Its Minister Datuk Seri Dr. Adam Baba said MOSTI welcomes Prime Minister Datuk Seri Ismail Sabri Yaakob's announcement during the recent opening of Invest Malaysia 2021 to make Malaysia a high-tech nation by 2030, which aims to create an ecosystem in a science, technology and innovation-led economy.
This will facilitate local technology development by creating economic opportunities and producing talent or manpower in the areas of artificial intelligence (AI), Internet of Things (IoT), and blockchain technology. Dr. Adam added the announcement by the Prime Minister are in line with the National Policy on Science, Technology and Innovation (MPSTI 2021 to 2030). For the record, Malaysia has shown a rapid growth in gross domestic product (GDP) from 204 billion ringgit in 1991 to 1.34 trillion ringgit in 2020 as a result of the effective implementation of various national policies.
The price of scrap rubber must be at a sustainable rate for the rural communities. The cost of replanting rubber has gone up, but the produce is still being sold at a low price. Therefore, the government must find a formula or method to increase the price of scrap rubber. With this effort, rubber smallholders under the Rubber Industry Smallholder Development Authority (RISDA) can enjoy a better income.
RISDA wanted the floor price of scrap rubber to be increased to 3 ringgit and 50 cent per kilogram. Rural Development Minister Datuk Seri Mahzir Khalid said this effort must be taken to increase the price of scrap rubber or floor price from the current price of 2 ringgit and 50 cent per kilogram. He added the matter might be seen as difficult and maybe time-consuming. Mahzir said the current low price of scrap rubber compared to other crops has made rubber smallholders planting other crops to get a more lucrative income. Thereby, Mahzir added the government must think of a way and method to increase its price.
The Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission (MACC) has asked opposition leader Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim to assist with information regarding the Pandora Papers. At the same time, MACC in a statement said they would work with Bank Negara Malaysia (BNM) and other agencies to conduct investigations into the matter.
On October 3rd, the International Consortium of Investigative Journalists, ICIJ, released the Pandora Papers, the largest expose of untold financial secrets covering over 200 countries and territories across the planet and involving 11.9 million confidential documents which unearth the secretive deals of the rich and famous and how their wealth has been hidden in offshore accounts. Bukit Aman Criminal Investigation Department Director Datuk Seri Abdul Jalil Hassan said they had received 4 police reports regarding the matter. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Ismail Sabri Yaakob said the government would leave it up to the authorities to take action against the matter. On Monday, Finance Minister Tengku Dato Sri Zafrul Tengku Abdul Aziz said BNM is already cooperating with law enforcement agencies to monitor and investigate documents contained in the Pandora Papers.
Sarawak Pay merupakan sebuah aplikasi dompet elektronik atau e-dompet yang semakin popular kini kerana ia adalah pantas, selamat dan mudah untuk digunakan. Sarawak Pay memudahkan pembayaran tanpa perlu mengeluarkan wang tunai. E-dompet ini dijamin selamat kerana ia diselia oleh Bank Negara Malaysia. Ia bukan sahaja e-dompet pertama di Sarawak, tetapi juga e-dompet pertama yang dilaksanakan di Malaysia oleh sebuah kerajaan negeri. Penggunaan e-dompet dijangka akan menjadi pembangkit keuangan pada masa depan dari segi pengurusan wang serta transaksi yang selamat dan pantas. Inisiatif ini merupakan salah satu langkah strategik bagi memacu Sarawak ke arah ekonomi digital.
Polis tidak akan ber-16 items kerana abak kandang menua berkumpul kuantum email yang mereka terutama di kawasan ujung email 的到来 Adakah caranya Indonesia and Malaysia
meskipun reda dengan Assalamualaikum dan salam sejahtera.
Warnailah hidupmu, tampilkanlah bakat baru. Sarawak pasti maju, menginspirasi duniamu.
Now, Melbourne, the most locked down city in the world since the start of the pandemic, is set to have restrictions on leaving home and its nightly curfew lifted at October 22nd. By then, the city, which is home to 5 million people, will have been under a hard stay-at-home order for a total of 263 days or nearly 9 months since March 2020.
While coronavirus cases keep rising in Victoria State, of which Melbourne is the capital, double vaccination rate for the population is set to reach 70% next week, allowing for the ease in restrictions.
Very pleased to be able to announce that from 11:59 p.m. this Thursday, when we will hit the 70% mark, the lockdown lifts. There will be no restrictions on leaving your home. There will be no curfew. The roadmap will be delivered in full.
More easing, including the reopening of many retailers, will come once 80% of eligible Victorians are fully vaccinated, estimated to come at the end of October. On Sunday, Victoria recorded 1,838 new cases and 7 deaths. New South Wales, which had emerged from 100 days in a continued lockdown earlier in the week, reported 301 new cases and 10 deaths. 80% of the state population is now fully vaccinated. Australia, once a champion of COVID-0 strategy in managing the pandemic, has been moving towards living with the virus through extensive vaccinations, as the Delta variant has proven to be more transmissible to suppress its circulation.
Today is a great day. Today is a day where Victorians can be very proud of what they have achieved. But just as we have vaccinated in record numbers and in record time, all of us know that this is not over yet. There's still a little way to go, and we've just got to see this thing through, push on, push through, get vaccinated so that we can hit 80% and beyond, so that we can open up, normalise this, look forward to Christmas and the weeks ahead of Christmas, and indeed look forward to 2022 with a justified sense of hope and optimism.
The families of Chinese astronauts Tsai Chi-keng, Wang Yaping and Ye Guangfu watched with bated breath as their loved ones ascended into outer space aboard the Shenzhou 13 spaceship on Saturday. The three Shenzhou 13 astronauts have entered the space station core module Tianhe for a 6-month mission.
Astronaut Wang Yaping's daughter attended a send-off ceremony to cheer her mother on. Before Wang's departure, her young daughter asked her to pick up stars in space and bring them home. Meanwhile, in Longjiang County of northeast China's Heilongjiang province, astronaut Zhai Jigang's family sat around a TV set to witness the successful launch of Shenzhou 13. In astronaut Ye Guangfu's hometown of Chengdu City, Sichuan province, relatives gathered to watch the astronaut's moment of liftoff. Among them was Ye's mother, Liu Xiaolin, who was also celebrating her 68th birthday on Saturday.
China had by the end of 2020 lifted 98.99 million rural poor population out of poverty, erecting a monument to humanity's struggle against poverty. China started tough battles against poverty in the new era from 2012. In just a little more than 8 years, the country has created the miracle.
Starting from the beginning of 2021, the country began to take up the first and foremost task of consolidating the anti-poverty achievements and preventing relapse into poverty by improving all kinds of specialty industries to connect with the task of invigorating the rural areas. According to the National Administration for Rural Revitalization, the country has by the end of August and brought in 5 million people under the monitoring for relapse into poverty. Of these people, over 78% have eliminated the risk of relapsing into poverty. By September 21 this year, more than 31.03 million people out of poverty had found jobs in industry, fulfilling 103% of the annual target. In the follow-up work for the ex-C2 resettled people, measures have been taken to ensure that at least one member of a family has a job to do in industry or other business. The whole country increased the small amount of loans by 33.5 billion yuan to support 790,000 out-of-poverty households in developing industries. The country has stepped up efforts to help form partnerships between rich and poor regions, and by the end of September, eastern provinces had invested 22.1 billion yuan in their partnership areas, and 305 centrally administered units invested 21.9 billion yuan directly or indirectly in their partner counties.
After wrapping up productions of the first movie in space, a Russian film crew and cosmonaut bid farewell to the Expedition 65 crew at the International Space Station on Saturday as they prepared to ride the Soyuz MS-18 spacecraft back to Earth.
Russian actress Zulia Peresyld, producer-director Klim Shipenko and cosmonaut Oleg Novitsky went through the hatch and into the Soyuz. They are expected to undock from the station's Nauka multipurpose laboratory module on Sunday, October 17, for a parachute-assisted landing on the steppe of Kazakhstan, according to NASA. Peresyld and Shipenko filmed scenes for their movie The Challenge, in which Peresyld plays a doctor who travels to the space station to save a cosmonaut's life. The project has Russia beating the US in the latest chapter in the space race movie making. Last year, NASA announced plans for Hollywood star Tom Cruise to blast off on a SpaceX rocket for a yet-to-be-named film.
Well, that's conclude TVS Nightline. I'm Ruben Gomez. Anytime, anywhere.